can bet the other banks are going to. Hi, Canada. What's going on with TD Bank? It sure looks like TD Bank is trying to force digital ID. If this goes through without any pushback, you can bet the other banks are going to follow suit. Here's a copy of what some people got by email. I also have confirmation that there were paper copies sent out through the mail, and some people even had them hidden in their inbox for their online banking. That does not seem right. What's the main concern? The wording. Since when does not reaching out before a deadline count as consent? In every other case, you have to agree to terms and conditions. Non-action or not doing anything doesn't mean you agree. This is completely new and untrustworthy. In the very first email about this, it talks about the Interac verification service, formerly known as verified.me. This is digital ID, folks. Go to the verified.me webpage and check it out. It states it's a digital identity verification network. That's a mouthful. And you only have until April 24th to call or go into a branch to tell them no, or you're automatically enrolled. Here's the next problem, though. Several people I know called TD Bank, and they don't even know about this. How can they force you to agree by doing nothing or refuse, but when you call to refuse, they can't help you? This is the final push that will force people into digital ID. Once that's in place, quite frankly, we're screwed. They could do away with cash, track our carbon credits, and move the goalposts as they inch towards total control. We can't let this happen. Now is the time to fight back and let them know they need to provide an option that isn't a digital ID. If you want to call to complain, email customer.service@td.com or call 1-833-259-5980. Stay tuned for part 2 where I look at the contract. Let's make some noise and make sure this doesn't happen. Okay, Canada? Much love. Here's part 2 of the TD Bank digital ID debacle. Let's take a look at the first page of the access agreement. It talks about your credentials, which formerly would have been a bank card or ID or a password or a PIN. They have biometrics in there, as in using your physical features like your voice or face to verify you. We already have this for Face ID on our phones, but imagine when this information is all entered into a digital database and therefore able to be used by the cameras that are already everywhere, like in stores, streets, undergrounds, and homes. With a simple software upgrade, that's pretty scary stuff. On page 2, it states we can add or remove services from time to time. We can change what you can do with your card, credentials, or PIN, or how you use them at any time. We don't have to give you notice. We can change how you conduct services at any time. We don't have to give you notice unless required by law. Okay. Interesting. Page 9 says that if you don't want to accept this agreement, you're required to discontinue any use of your card to access any services, and that you're still responsible for all your obligations with TD. What are the legal implications if you don't want to be coerced into digital ID, but you have a line of credit or a loan or a mortgage with them? I honestly don't know. What's going to happen if every bank tries to do this? Will freedom banks emerge? Will we be expected to hand deliver or mail cash for our rent, bills, or our loans? Another big question. Also on this page, it asks what happens if part of this agreement is invalid. Then it states that a court may find any portion or section of this agreement invalid or unenforceable. Does that mean that this isn't even legal? Because I don't see how skipping over something as important as consent possibly could be legal. Did they not even use the correct legal avenues when they wrote this? That's another huge red flag to me. If you want to complain, email customer.service@td.com or call 1-833-259-5980. I have information on how to escalate a complaint. Just ask. They need to come up with a solution for those of us who are going to stand against digital ID. Make sure you